Comparing quantities, tax and interest. Introduction of comparing sales tax, introduction of VAT, sales tax and value-added tax. Sales tax. Sales tax is charged by the government on the sale of an item. The tax depends on the selling price of an item and it is added to the value of the bill. The customer pays the sales tax to the shopkeeper when he buys the items. Shopkeeper collects the tax and gives it to the government. Normally, sales tax is charged minimum 5% and may vary items to items. Value-added tax, that is VAT. In these days, the tax is included in the price of an item. The tax is known as value-added tax. Lena purchased a pair of roller skates at the cost of rupees 450. The sales tax was charged 5% by the shopkeeper. Now find the bill amount. Now we have to find out how much amount Lena paid to the shopkeeper for a pair of roller skates. Sales tax is 5% on amount rupees 450. It means 5% of rupees 450. On simplify, we get rupees 22.50, the amount of sales tax in rupees. Now add rupees 22.50 in rupees 450. We get total amount of bill rupees 472.50, which Lena paid to the shopkeeper. Interest. Interest is the extra amount paid by institutions like bank or post office to us if we deposited some money with them for a specific time interval. Or interest is the amount paid by the people if they borrow some money from the institutions like banks. The interest charged or paid yearly is called simple interest and it is calculated by SI is equal to PRT divided by 100. SI for simple interest, P for principal amount, R for rate of interest and T for the time duration. Compound interest. Suppose Mr. More deposits rupees 50,000 in the bank for 3 years at the rate of 10% interest. At the end of first year, interest calculates on rupees 50,000 and his total amount becomes the sum of principal amount plus interest amount. This sum is then considered as the principal amount for second year. At the end of second year, the total amount assumes as new principal amount and calculates the interest on it. The sum of principal amount and interest on that principal amount becomes the new principal amount for third year. At the end of third year, Mr. More gets the total amount rupees 67,650, including third year interest. In the example of Mr. More, we have seen that interest is calculated on the sum amount of the previous year. This is known as interest compounded or compound interest, that is CI. The formula for calculating compound interest is A to the base n is equal to P to the base 1 into bracket 1 plus R divided by 100 raised to the power n. In many examples, we may find there is mentioned compounded annually after rate because interest rate compounded annually as well as half-yearly and quarterly too. If the interest is compounded half-yearly, the rate will be half of the annual rate. Suppose annual compound interest is 10%. It will be 5% for half-year. And what will happen if interest is compounded quarterly? In this case, the quarterly rate will be 1/4 of the annual rate. Application of compound interest formula. The population of a city was 20,000 in the year 1997. It increased at the rate of 5% per annum. Find the population at the end of the year 2000. Solution. In year 1997, the population was 20,000, which we can consider as principal. And rate of growth of population is 5%. So every new year has new population. Therefore, it is an example of compound interest. The formula for calculating compound interest is a to the base n is equal to p to the base 1 into bracket 1 plus r divided by 100 raised to the power n. Put the values of each in the formula. Performing calculations, we get estimated population 23,153, which will be the population at the end of year 2000. Summary. Sales tax is charged on the sale of an item by the government and is added to the bill amount. 2. Compound interest is the interest calculated on the previous year's amount. 3. Amount when interest is compounded annually. 4. Amount when interest is compounded half-yearly, where R by 2 is half-yearly rate and 2n is equal to number of half years. So that is all in this topic. Maths is fun, so keep learning.